from D?
No, I did not. But we are live. What's going on, everybody? It's a live match reaction show. I'm your host, T. I'm here with my man, Patrick. What's up, Patrick?
Hey, what's going on, T?
Nothing too much, man. Hey, final score from today's match was Chelsea 1 and Crystal Palace 0. A little bit of a heartbreaker for us there. Like you said, it was a little bit of a switch off at the end there. Played solid for that long, and just to switch off for a play and give up a last minute goal there. But happy to have you all with us, man. Appreciate you all joining us. Pat, let's just get right to it, man. Give me your overall synopsis of today's match.
I thought the lineup was interesting, and as the match went on, I liked it a lot. Playing that 4-2-3-1 to me worked. You're playing against one of the best teams in the world. I mean, they won a world championship last week. Their possession with the three in the back is insanely good. We defensively we were very, very solid. Mitchell played a great game until that one time he switched off. Gay and Anderson were brilliant. Lukaku had 8 touches in 90 minutes. 8 touches, one of the best strikers in the world.
Yeah.
Totally shut him down. Mitchell was very good against Ziyech. I thought Clyne did really well against Havertz. The only thing we didn't create chances, but again, the system wasn't set up to really create chances. We had a couple. I mean, Wolf had 2 shots that went wide. Olise had a shot that went wide. Schlupp had a shot in the second half. He probably should have put on target.
Yeah, that
but I thought he did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was unlucky. I mean, people. I'm looking at the chat. You people, you're out of your mind for this criticism of Vieira's tactics. Seriously, you're out of your minds. I'm totally disagree with you because.
In being honest,
if
we finished the chances we had, I think this is a completely different conversation. To be honest,
exactly. Or if we just for a change, we can hold out instead of giving up another heartbreaking, late winner, or sometimes usually not a winner. It's usually one that takes the points away from 3-1. But I thought he got it spot on today. I mean, it was very unlucky. Again, it was Mitchell. For me, man of the match up to that one point. He just makes a mistake, and he's played every game this season. He's switched off, and I thought Butland, should he get beat that easily? But again, it's unlucky. But Chelsea's a great team. I mean, people can come on today and make all your comments that you want. I'm not having a Vieira got it wrong today. He did not get it wrong. Not for me. We were very unlucky.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't say so. I mean, honestly, we played even. Like, we played as good as they did that entire match.
Right.
And it was never a point where I was saying to myself, Chelsea's playing better than us in this match. You know what I mean? It was
because Chelsea is better than us. They're better than us. I mean, they are. Because they had to come to. I mean, they're the best team in Europe last year and the best club team. I don't understand how people are saying the sub. How do you get the subs wrong? You brought Butland on at halftime because he had to because Grace is injured. T and I were discussing before. He brought on Eze for Ayew. Ayew played really well. Yes, he made 1 or 2 mistakes, but drew a lot of fouls. Defensively was very solid. They bring him for Eze. Who do you want him to bring him in for? So T was saying before we got on, bring him on for Schlupp. Okay, so put him on the other side, and then you have Ayew still on. But then people would have said, why bring on Ayew? You can't bring on a striker at 0-0, which we did. Again, what happened again, T? What happened when we brought on the striker? What happened after they brought on the striker?
They scored within seconds.
Exactly. So what do you guys want? So what do you want? He brings on a striker, which I thought was aggressive, but fair enough, and they score. So I don't get he subs are poor. How are his subs poor? Well, I'm not having that today, guys. I'm not having it. Sorry.
The honest thing of it is the striker didn't lose us the game. Not having a striker out there didn't lose us the match.
Okay, so Don Smith, if you don't like the channel, don't listen. All right, no problem, buddy. Just feel free to unsubscribe to the channel. No problem. I mean, you can have a different opinion. You don't call the channel garbage. All right. So if you don't like the opinion, that's fine. But you just listen to another channel. I got no problem with that.
Yep. No problem with that. So, I mean, it's I mean, no doubt frustrating for everyone, for the players, for the manager, for the fans. It's frustrating because to come out and play a solid match against a team of that caliber,
exactly,
to play them even the entire way. To have possession. We had a good amount of possession in this game. I felt like at times,
especially in the second half,
especially in the second half. And we had chances. We created the chances. We didn't finish the ones that we had, but we created some. We had them. It's just one of those things that it's tough to say, but the thing we have to keep in mind is this is year one, and there are things that we have to make sure that we keep doing for a full 90, for the full game, honestly. But hey, we're gonna be opening up the lines really soon for you all to hop back in. But real quick, Pat, was there any pieces of the match that you would have changed at all? Not necessarily subs, not necessarily, but anything that you noticed that you might have changed?
Honestly, not really. I mean, I thought tactically, it was very similar to how we tried to play against Man City when we won that game earlier in the season. All the thing would have liked if we could gotten the first goal, it would have changed it. But the quality on Chelsea is so high. It's like Man City. It's like Liverpool. That it's very difficult to to not take your chances. And we had a couple of chances. Again, go back to first half, the Zaha chance that he pulls wide.
Yep.
Similarly, did the same exact thing. Second half, pulls wide. We had a bunch of set pieces today that we didn't capitalize on. There was one early in the first half that reminded me very much of the Hartlepool goal that Olise had.
Yeah.
Chelsea very smartly, what they did, played a very high line, not give us that space, so we had to, so we weren't able to get that space in behind. Then you put in a bad cross. But again, I thought we were very, very unlucky. That's all I'm going to say. I thought we were very unlucky. I just thought that, we were lucky on the Lukaku play that was called the Vieira that was offside. I mean, we were even more unlucky with that goal. I think we deserved the point today. I think we played well enough to deserve a point. So you can talk all you want again about Vieira, and you can criticize me if you want. That's fine. But I'm just going to say that I just thought we were very unlucky today, and it's frustrating. So.
I think the thing is, man, it's crazy to think about. I was listening to the game. We haven't had a tie with them in 21
90,
years.
Yeah, they said was it 90?
99, 90, yeah, it was like
it's a
99,
long time.
something crazy, man. Like, wow,
It's a crazy stat. It is crazy stat. We haven't drawn with them in a long, long time. It's crazy.
And yeah, I mean, switching off late in games, that was the hardest part for us right there. Is that one, because we knew how like you said, how solid Tyrick was up until that play. I mean, I don't think he had anybody dribble past him the whole match.
He was brilliant. I mean, even Ian Darry was saying during the commentary about how he thinks that how he way he played, he's of the England call up. He was really, really good. That's why I feel so poorly for him. I mean, sorry, badly for him, because he played so well against a top world class player, and he gave up that. Again, it's just unlucky again. I mean, we've had that happen in other matches. Gahey with the late handball against Lee switching off, and then the Brighton switching off with Gahey again with Guaita not coming out and getting chipped by Mope. It's happened, and it's a shame, but it's all part of the process. Again, I am frustrated now, as many people are. I'll get over it, and I'm fine. And again, I have no issue with Vieira. I have no problem with the players. I thought we played really well today. It's just a real shame that we deserved the point there. We didn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things I'm noticing here that I'm seeing some repeat comments over is let's talk a little bit about what we saw from Nathaniel Clyne. How did you feel about Nathaniel Clyne's performance overall?
I thought he was very solid. I mean, he was up against, I guess it was against Havertz, I guess, most of the game.
Yeah, Havertz
right on
was
that
over
side.
there. Yep.
I thought he played well. I mean, this is only his second start all season. The first one against Man United. He hasn't played a lot. But I thought he did well. I mean, there were times when he, gave the ball away or looked a little nervous. But I thought overall, I thought he was pretty solid. I mean, Havertz is a very good player. We said when he played last week in the Club Cup final, when he won the Champions League, getting a winning goal last week. He got the winning goal. He's a really good player. And I thought, for a player
that hasn't played from him.
You didn't hear much from him. You didn't. I mean, honestly, the only people that gave us a lot of trouble were, unfortunately, Ziyech and Pulisic, because we shut down Lukaku pretty much. And you got to give Gahey and Anderson a lot of credit for that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Our midfield was very good. I mean, Kante was causing an issue, but Kouyaté played. By the way, how good was Kouyaté today?
He's everywhere.
It's like he never left. I mean, it was amazing today. Maka was excellent today. I love that 4-2-3-1, because I thought it really gave us a defensive solidity in there in the middle. And but again, going back to Clyne, I thought Clyne played really, really well. Don't know how anybody else thinks about it. I thought Clyne was really, really good today.
I mean, the thing that I felt solid with Clyne over there. on that
Right.
right side. He wasn't getting beat. He was getting forward, being involved. Like I really really like what I saw from Nathaniel Clyne. It's good to see that even with the limited appearances and game time that he's had, he's
He was
still
able
able to
to.
go in there and play that well and put in a shift like that, because that can't be easy. Having that type of situation where your game time is so sporadic, but he gets in there and he's a professional and he plays at a high quality. I mean, that's never easy to get called on in such a high level game either.
It's not. And again, against Chelsea, it might be when he's obviously much older. When we threw in Wan Bissaka against I guess Tottenham the first time he played, how well he played the first time, having not played. But real quick, I want to give you a quick stats on Klein.
Okay.
Played 90 minutes, 74% passing accuracy, 1 out of 2 accurate crosses, 54 touches, and won 3 out of 3 tackles. Compare that to Tyreek, who was 62% passing accuracy, 0 for 3 on accurate crosses, but 6 out of 8 Tyreek won tackles won. So, and Creek had 11 recovery tackles today, which is amazing. I mean, it's a shame, man. Tariq played so well today. For that goal to be scored against him as a real shit, he played so well. He
That's
didn't
tough.
deserve that.
Yeah,
Didn't
that's
deserve
tough.
that.
I mean, because you play so solid, like, and that's the game of football, man. It only takes 1 minute, 1 second of 1 minute of one game to give up that crucial goal. So, Pat, why don't you just give us some overall stats from the game?
So, overall, Crystal Palace 42% possession versus Chelsea 58%. Total shots, Palace 7, Chelsea 9. Big chances, Palace 1, Chelsea 2. Accurate passing percentages, Palace 78%, Chelsea 83%. Interesting stat here because in the first half, I noticed we weren't getting a lot of yellow cards or any fouls. Chelsea 20 fouls
20
committed.
fouls. Yep. There was
Yeah,
one point in the first. It was one
Palace
point in the
4.
first half. It was one point in the first half where they had 10 fouls and we had 1.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, they were fouling, I guess, tactically all day today. It was ridiculous.
They had a lot. They had a lot of them.
Total passes, Palace 366, Chelsea 516. Accurate passes, again, I've done that already. Passes in own half, which is interesting. Palace 171, Chelsea 212. So I thought it'd be a lot more for us. It
And actually,
wasn't
they
because
did.
they actually did, yeah. And again, and tackles 1, Palace 17. I thought we played so well defensively, and Chelsea 9. Yellow cards 3 for Chelsea, 1 for us. It should have been a lot more for Chelsea. They were fouling us.
That's and honestly, the stat line really shows just how in line we were with them in this game. How well we were playing with them in this game. You know what I mean? So let me get this thoughts on your you talked about this a little bit before we came on. Give me your thoughts on Olise in the 10 there.
It was different, but I liked it. He was I gotta look at his stats real quick. I thought he was involved in the game. I thought he and Wolf hooked up really well. Is that the right word? Yeah, linked up. Sorry, really well. I like the freedom that he had to roam because you saw him left, you saw him right. When Wolf left the middle, he was in the middle a little bit. Was involved in the few chances that we really had. He was the one that set them up. So I liked it. I don't know if it's something you can do all the time, but I liked it today. I liked it a lot today. So stat wise, he was 86% passing accuracy, 2 key passes, 0 for 1 on shots. Remember that one shot he had, 63 touches, 1 out of 2 successful dribbles, 3 out of 9. He had a lot of crosses, 3 out of 9 accurate crosses. Could have been better on his crosses. Tackling 0 for 1 he's not really a tackler, but he won 5 out of 8 ground duels. So he was getting involved, mixing up, trying to win the ball for us. So I thought he played well.
I thought the thing that was nice is that with the first of all, I'm actually really really happy that we switched to a 4-2-3-1. I really like the way we played in the 4-2-3-1.
Right.
And the thing is, I mean, going forward, could you see us doing more of that?
I think it depends on the opponent. I thrown out a stat on Twitter a while ago. It's not getting any better today, but all about losses today. We've lost Liverpool, now Liverpool twice, Chelsea twice, United, West Ham once, Arsenal we drew, and Tottenham once, and Villa. The only loss we've had for a team below us has been Leeds. Right. So the point being, go back to your comment is, I'm guessing based on the opponent. I mean, we're not going to play. Obviously, not playing Chelsea again, Spurs again. Maybe against City, I could see it at home, a 4-2-3. I think that would work. Maybe he would at that point decide maybe you want to go with what you know what? I probably put Edward out wide in that case. Why? Because it worked against City the first time. Remember we did the four, we did Wilson and we had Zaha up top. I think that might work again. But I liked it. I really liked the usage of it was needs must, the usage of Kiyate and Macker as the double pivot.
And I think they played great in that role. I think they did great as a double pivot.
Right. The thing is, where would Gallagher fit in? He wouldn't in a 4. You know what I mean? 4-2, he wouldn't work. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why
you don't think Gallagher could play in that 10 position though.
Well, you put Olise out. I like Olise. You know, maybe. I mean, I'd like to see Eze in the 10 and put Olise out wide.
And see, and that's why.
But again, that's why Gallagher can't play in that role.
It was interesting to see though, because when they brought Eze in,
right,
they put him on the right and kept Olise. And maybe that could be. Hey, maybe that could be. Right. We're going to ride the hot hand. You know, because he was playing really well in that 10 position, so maybe they wanted to just keep him there. I don't know. You know, but
yeah, it's interesting. It's a very good point, T. I mean, obviously, and you can put Gallagher in a double pivot. You can put him in for either Maka or Kiyate in that role. You get a little bit more legs out of him. So it opens up a lot of options. Again, it opens up the option for Olise, Eze, and Connor to all play. So I mean, I liked it. Again, I like the fact that we did something totally different we haven't done all season, and it almost worked. I mean, so from that standpoint, I gotta give the manager credit. He could have either gone to the easy 4-3-3 and gotten battered 3-0. People said, "Well."
So talking a little bit about this piece. So midfield without Gallagher was still solid, and McArthur was a beast. Agreed. I think that's totally, great. Yeah. So in parlaying that into Nick's comment here, did today give us confidence for no Connor next year?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's been those rumors going around about you know, Eze possibly going to Newcastle, which I don't necessarily buy into, but I've been saying it and I'll keep saying it. I've always believed that Eze is the natural replacement for Gallagher, and that we got Gallagher because Eze wasn't going to be ready 100% for this season. So I know Gallagher's been really good, and I'm really looking for him back in the lineup on, I guess, Tuesday, Wednesday against Watford. But I really believe that Eze can play in that role. I'm with the 100%. I think he can definitely fill it in.
And I agree with Red here. It's good the fact that we are good enough where we can cope with our individual players. Because I mean, earlier in the chat, there were some people saying, or I saw at least one person say that we play better without Zaha. And it's like, and the thought of that in past years is like, oh, there's no way. You know what I mean? But I think the makeup of the squad has gotten good enough to where we don't have to depend on one individual player or feel like without one individual player we can't move forward.
Yeah, see, I don't know if we better without any particular player, like without Connor today. I think we play differently without Zaha and differently without Gallagher, which is not necessarily a bad, you know, differently is the key, right? And I think you know you'll get wins, you get losses, you get draws. I think we play differently, and again, I think you're 100% T. We just don't rely on any one player, and you shouldn't have to rely on one player. And I think that's better as a future going forward. We're much better not relying on one player.
Absolutely. So the thing is, when you think about like losing one player, if I'm thinking about us losing one guy and not having him to play and it affecting us the most, it's probably Tyrick in his position. Like that's just how I feel. Like if we lose Tyrick right now. With the depth of that position, I think that hurts us more than not having a guy like Wilfin, just because we have a dearth of attacking options right now. We don't have a lot of solid left backs. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So you're right. I mean,
so I think if anybody's going to be that, hey, we can't afford to lose him guy right now, I think it's probably Tyrick.
And then Gahey. We'll be right next to him.
I mean,
can't afford to move him. Anderson, exactly.
We understand how important that partnership is.
Yeah,
we understand how important that partnership is. We understand what they can do in our system for us, and by losing them, we understand what we don't have anymore at the back, and because that's a foundational piece of what we do,
100%
trying to do. in our offensive phases of the football game. So okay, so let me address this one, and it is I want to really more talk about well, that's not the one. Here we go. It's actually about the fact that it's just the piece of we've seen. I don't want to comment on all of it. I want to focus in on the piece about Ward versus Clyne.
Right.
We saw what we can get out of Clyne once again in a full 90 appearance.
Right.
Does his performance in prior performances give you more pause going forward for playtime?
There's no doubt I've wanted Nathaniel Clyne to play more this season, but what I don't know is, one, where was Joe Ward today? He was on the bench, so was it because he was injured?
It had to be injury related because I
Right.
think
Okay. So there's that. Two, with Luca out, Ward is our captain, and people want to downplay that sometimes, but you need that leadership on the field. Today was Macca because Macca's been out, so I think that Vieira, as a former captain himself, values that leadership on the pitch. So
he knows what it means.
The fact that he wasn't playing so much, and again, D and I have had this conversation almost every play ratings. We talk about why is Ward playing? Ward's playing for a reason. And a lot of it is that he's been in the club for 10 plus seasons. So, but has Clyne showed he can play? I think he showed it today. So now we have options.
What the great thing about Clyne is that he still has intact. He still has pace.
He does have the speed.
He still got some pace on him. So we're gonna bring
he's
on our
not
first
the old
guest.
Nathaniel Clyne, but he's definitely got the speed.
No, he's not that guy, but he still got some pace to him. We're gonna bring on
Speaking of Nate.
Yo, what are you saying, boys?
What's going on, man? We got the tie on, okay?
Yeah, I'm going to work, so I have to wear a uniform and all that business. So
gotta be super clean.
Nice.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So Nate, give us your thoughts on what you saw today.
Well, as much as the doom and gloom brigade are going to go, we're getting relegated. Bring back Roy Hodgson. This is bullshit. X, Y, Z. I just like to say one thing. World champions Chelsea laboured to a 1-0 win over Crystal Palace. World champions Chelsea. Don't get me wrong. Ziyech came up clutch for them to give the boy a biscuit. But on another day, we're sitting here with a well-earned point. Maybe more if Zaha had scored that first half chance and Olise, maybe you've got his shot on target. Don't get me wrong. It's, again, another goal conceded at the Sainsbury's end. 90th minute. Again.
Yep.
Points dropped at that end of the ground at home. Again, a feeling of it's not what is it? It's not the expectation that kills me. It's the hope.
Yeah,
I can live if we're outclassed by opposition. Like for example, Norwich, we could have been 3-0 down. We're not for Tyrick Mitchell. So just salvage a point from that. Okay, it's not the ideal result, but it was a result. Brentford, we should have won that. There's no excuses on that one. That was poor. Today wasn't great. Wasn't terrible, but if you'd have offered me narrowly to Chelsea 1-0 at home, where the reverse fixture at Selhurst Park, at Stamford Bridge rather, it was well and truly over long before the half-time whistle. I'm thinking, okay, it's annoying that we've still somehow managed to throw it away from a fairly decent position, but you've got to look at it and say, do you know what? As much as I'm sick of saying, the next 2 games are must win, the fact that we've come this close has to be pissing off Vieira, because he'll be thinking the amount of draws is actually getting on my nerves now. But that's only 5 wins this season. I think 12 draws, 13 draws. I think.
Yeah, we're actually second in the Premier League behind Brighton with draws, and it's interesting because now we sit here talking about a game that we ended up narrowly losing, and it's like if we would have took that point, we would have been happy. It would have been another draw, but we'd have been satisfied with the point. So it's such an interesting dichotomy between a winning draw and a losing draw.
I hear you, T. I hear you. But again, that's the thing, is that like the Norwich draw, that was a win because we were so lucky to not be 3-0 down. The Brentford draw, that was a loss because, let's be honest, we're all looking at that going, Ivan Toney, who's Brentford's most dangerous player with the exception of Christian Eriksen, not on the pitch, not even on the bench. So if there's ever a time to play Brentford at their ground where they don't have their key player fit, it was then. And what do? Nothing.
Right.
the team selection today, I was thinking not playing a striker. This is either going to be a masterstroke or it's going to have Palace Twitter in full-blown meltdown and people are going to start throwing toys out of the proverbial pram because, it doesn't take much for people to go miss. Because all the people that were bashing Ward, I was one of them at one point. Clyne didn't do an awful lot wrong today, but the whole defence was ball watching for the goal. Eze should have trapped back because I think Derry and Ossie and Roberts were screaming at him to trap back as Alonso made that run. But you're looking at it thinking, okay, Chelsea just about squeaked past us. Am I disappointed? Sure. Were we battered? Nah.
Good point. Very good point. And I want to point out this comment here by Robin Mary. Football is such a magical game. We all watch the same game but have such different opinions and expectations. This is the best Palace squad I've ever seen and have been hoping for so much more. I think it's a great point that Robin makes there is because there are so many interpretations that people can take from the same exact match. You know what I mean? And I guess it's just perspective. It's the thought of where we've come from to where we are now and the type of changes that we've seen and all of that. But it's interesting the fact that we can have these conversations of varying opinions about the same exact squad, same exact matches that we're seeing them play in. I mean, I feel like we, even though, like you said, frustrated, yes. Disappointed a little bit, a good amount. Do I feel like we got battered, or do I feel like we didn't play well? No, I don't feel like that at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Patrick, let's talk a little bit about Seb's comment here. Do you think PV sees Wilf more as a striker for us as he gets older, and someone like Edouard with more legs on the wing?
Again, I don't think. I mean, based on today, it was really based on the fact that Wilf is more mobile. He tried something similarly against Man City and it worked. And again, because Chelsea have that back three, I'm just not sure. Besides hold up, I'm not sure what Mateta or Benteke stand up front would have added. Edouard definitely wouldn't have added anything up front because he just doesn't hold the ball up well enough. Movement's very good. He's quick, but we talked about the other day when we don't put enough balls into Edouard, and so that wasn't going to work today. We're going to put balls into the channels for Edouard to run onto. So possibly, I mean, Wolves admitted it. If you look interviews lately, that he doesn't dribble as much. He wants to play more centrally. He feels more of a forward. He is getting older, so I just think I think that's probably true. Maybe he's another striker. So next season, if Benteke is gone, you've got Mateta, Edouard, and maybe Wolf up front next year. So he's probably right, Seth.
And I mean, the interesting thing too is I think when people saw that initial lineup with no formal strikers, they were a little bit shocked in certain ways.
Right.
But if you think about probably what he was trying to do, he's trying to have three guys up front that are going to run around like crazy and put pressure on that back line.
Fouls.
And we might not get that with those three strikers up front. So it was definitely a tactical move to play Wilf there, and honestly, had we got the finishes, we'd be talking about him having a master stroke of a managerial move. If Wilf puts away those two chances and Olise puts away his chance.
Olise puts away his, right.
This is a whole different conversation. We're not having people in here talking down on the squad. We're not in here having people acting like this is the end for us or that we're on our way to relegation. So it's interesting that how these few simple plays or differences in the outcome of some of these plays can change the whole entire outlook of how people are speaking on the club in general.
But also, let's go back to the first half. You remember the Conte chance that Guaita made a great save on, and the Rudiger shot they made a great save on? If it's 2-0 then the game's over, and it could be even worse. So, you know what I mean? People want to think, but Guaita made two massive saves in the first half, keeping it 0-0. And those two saves kept us in the game. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jay says that Watford and Burnley are must-wins. Do you all agree?
We said the same about Norwich and Brentford, though. That's the issue. It's let's say we'd beaten Norwich and Brentford, today wouldn't have mattered. We'd have been like, oh yeah, cool, we lost to Chelsea, whatever, we keep it moving. But because we failed, well, granted, Norwich, as I said, we could have easily lost that game in the first half because Mitchell not getting those two blocks in with 3-0 down, you're thinking, we're losing 3-0 away from home to arguably one of the worst teams in the Prem. It's the most Palace thing ever. So I'm not shocked, but I'm not happy.
Mm-hmm.
But because we failed to get the 6 points from those two fixtures because we only got 2 out of 6, people are saying, "Oh, well now Norwich and Burnley, Watford and Burnley, sorry, are now must-wins." Burnley have just had a rocket lit up their ass because they beat them lot on the south coast, which actually made me feel a whole lot better about our result. I went, wait a minute, the great Graham Potter got beaten by Sean Dyche. Yeah. My faith in football has been restored. I'm happy.
Yeah. What's crazy about that is they beat them 3-0, and they said that Burnley's only scored before that game only scored 3 goals in the past 9 matches.
That's only their second win of the season, which is even more funny.
Yeah.
Now so hopefully that winning streak is going to come to an end come Saturday because we need to turn them over at Selhurst because I'm still annoyed at the draw at Turf Moor. But Roy also got a win today with Watford, and you're thinking, boy, this is the one time we don't want Roy Hodgson and Watford getting a little bit of hope.
At the same time, it was 1-0. Like,
1-0 is still 3 points, team. No matter what way you put it, if it's if it's 1-0, it's 1-0. Let's be honest.
Right.
We had games under Roy last season. We won 1-0. We were all going happy. Yeah, we won. It's only because Roy had, I think, a 5-1 win over West Brom. People were like, Roy Hodgson, 5 goals? Did he have an aneurysm? Was he having a stroke on the bench? What was going on? Mm-hmm. That can't be right. But you look at Wednesday's game now, and you're thinking, okay, we need to just be ruthless. The one thing we haven't been all season is just ruthless.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Granted, we can't expect that to happen now because it's as I just said, it's the one thing we haven't been all season. Sorry, but these are the 2 games. If we win these 2 games, the talk of relegation evaporates to the sensible people in our fan base. The not so sensible ones will still bang that relegation drum until it's mathematically confirmed that we're not going down.
Right.
But
are we 8 above relegation right now?
Yeah, we're 8 above. Watford has a game in hand, but again, I would say we're 9 above because we have a much better goal difference than anybody even close to us in the bottom 17. So add a point for that. So we're 9 points off of relegation because again, that goal difference is a big deal. So again, listen, I don't want to lose to Watford on obviously, but I would take a point and beat Burnley. But to say they're both must wins, I don't think they're both must wins. But I mean, do I want to win both? Of course I do. But I don't think they're both must wins. I don't. I just don't. I think Brentford's in much bigger trouble than we are. Much better. So is Everton.
I think it's different between must win, and should win.
I would, want to win and need to, but I must win in what, late February or early March. I guess it'll be.
I wouldn't because it's 14 matches? 14 matches left? 15?
13.
It's still late in the season, so yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we still got a good amount of games left. Aaron says we proved today that we can control possession, we control the game, we can press, threaten big teams. So why we keep saying against Chelsea when we've already proved we have what it takes?
Because we've only beaten one of the top. We've only beaten one of the top 5 teams, and Chelsea's one of the best teams. Again, we keep saying they're one of the best teams in Europe. So, I mean, we really beat Liverpool. I mean, you made the point. When last time that we got a point against Chelsea T was we beat them in 2017. We haven't beat them. We haven't beat them in 5 years. I mean,
5 years. Like haven't tied them in over a decade.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I say it because I mean they're that good. So again,
but at the same time, I get Aaron's sentiment. I think he's just more along the lines of, hey, we can play with anybody, and we need to have that confidence that we can.
I don't think we're there yet, though. I think next season we can start saying. The first year of Vieira, I don't think you can say it against the Chelsea. I mean, we beat Man City, but I don't think you can say we should be playing with Chelsea and Liverpool yet. I don't think we're there yet. I just don't. I think that those teams. Can we get a rare win? Yes, we've proven it already, beating Man City. But I think next year when you could start saying when we've brought in a few more players, systems more in place, manager's got his the year under his belt, etc. I think to expect that kind of in the first year of a new manager, and I think that's a lot to ask for. But
it's not like we don't have we don't have the luxury of having a manager that's been embedded for years, a la a Pep or a Klopp. Guys that really have their philosophies, their personnel, and everything in place, embedded into the team. to where there's an understanding of what they're looking to do every single game, regardless of who
Yeah.
the opponent is.
So
Yeah.
guys, I'm not comparing, right? But everybody remember what Klopp did when he first got to Liverpool? How good were they? Did they struggle for a while?
They
I'm
were
not
dog
comparing.
shit.
Exactly.
were
I'm not
dog shit.
comparing. I'm not going to compare V. I'm just saying it takes time. Now, Tuchel was an aberration last year. Him to come in and win a Champions League in that first season was amazing. But most managers take time. They just do take time.
Yeah.
Whether you're a top level manager or even just to a new league. So again, I'm going to give Vieira at least if a year from now, if the same thing's happening, I'm pretty sure I'll be with most people. But right now, I'm just not going to be overly critical because I really believe this is a process we have to go through.
Yeah. Plus, Pat, the thing is, if you look at the last two home performances against Chelsea and Liverpool, we still lost those games. We can't deny that. But normally, under not even Hodgson, I'm not even going to bash Roy here, but you look at Allardyce, Pardew, Pulis, De Boer. What would happen? What would happen is we'd get absolutely embarrassed, pants pulled down, spanked, and lubricated. Not even right. I came out of that Liverpool game saying it hurts to lose with that kind of a penalty, but if that goes in our way, we ain't, we're going mad, going, holy shit, how do we get away with an absolute blue murder? Right. So you just take that and go, listen, it hurts, but big team bias is a thing. We can't really get away from it. We saw today the referee was trying to hand Chelsea the 3 points. Oh, what's that, Chelsea? Your player fell over the ball. Free kick to Chelsea. Oh, what's that? Crystal Palace somehow kicked the ball at a Chelsea player's foot. Free kick to Chelsea. Yeah. Oh, a Crystal Palace fan was verbally abusing a Chelsea player. Free kick to Chelsea. Anything Chelsea needed, the referee was giving to them. And I even had a Chelsea fan text me during the game saying, if any Chelsea fans giving out about the referee, just show them this WhatsApp message. And I said, I'm going to leave them to it because whatever Chelsea game they're watching, it must be the Chelsea ladies game. Because there's no way in hell they're saying the referee is not favouring Chelsea. But the Liverpool game, apart from the penalty, a little bit unlucky. Could have got a goal had Alisson not pulled a save out of his arse with Olise's lob. You're thinking
he had a few of those.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're coming from games against the big boys, disappointed to lose, not thankful we lost, not going, oh, that's okay. We could have done better. And that is levels above what we used to, because last season, the 7-0, I was thinking, well, thank fuck I did a night shift the night before, because if I was awake to see that, I'd have just jumped in the river lifting. I'd have been done out here.
Remember that watch along? That was fun.
And I mean,
I'd have gone full-blown expressions and just started trashing up everywhere because I just wouldn't have had it. So you see what I'm saying?
It's a difference in mindset. You know what I mean? You know, it's the fact that you can literally feel like, hey, my team is good enough to have played better. I feel like we could have played better, or I feel like we played really well and got unlucky in a certain. You know what I'm saying? So like having that mindset compared to years past is night and day. For me,
I'm annoyed we've lost today. That doesn't happen with Chelsea. Normally I'm like, oh, we lost to Chelsea. Okay, we keep it moving, we move. Yep. I'm thinking we weren't great, but Chelsea were dog shit. Champions of the world. I wouldn't be brandishing that on my Twitter feed if I was a Chelsea fan, because they didn't look like champions of the world today. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure?
That's because of us, though.
No, Nick, I hear that. That's what I'm saying.
To make them like that, which is positive.
Hello, everybody.
You're right, Nick. I'm going to sit out my stool. My stool. On the way to the game, I said to my son, this is a free hit. I can see us losing 3 or 4-0 today, because Chelsea are very, very good. They are very, very good. Look at that lineup. Now, we set up really well. Positives of the day. Anderson. That first couple of games of the season, his heading was dog shit. Lukaku, how many headers did Lukaku win?
Lukaku, like,
any.
Who?
Patrick said it earlier. Lukaku only had 8 touches. 8 or 9.
Who is this Lukaku you speak of? He wasn't on the pitch.
Anderson shut him out. Okay, next.
No. Anderson had him in his pocket, Nick. There's a big difference.
Schlupp. Let's play him there rather than where we've been playing him before. What a revelation out there. I don't know what he had in his team before the game, but what a difference.
He's a very different player when he plays wide. He's a
Schlupp as a central midfielder. Mate, it doesn't work. Patrick's been saying this.
Olise in the number 10 role.
Solid.
Marvellous, because a few times he was swapping positions with Ayew. He was swapping positions a couple of times, and Ayew was swapping with Zaha. And we had that fluidity that Barcelona. I know you're going to laugh at me comparing us to Barcelona. We weren't quite as good as them, but we had that fluidity of players being able to swap positions.
Yep.
Kuate, absolutely immense.
Brilliant today.
Baka,
Brilliant
absolutely immense. He's matured so much as a player. Just little step overs to fool the opposition. Gray going forwards with the ball. Mitchell going forwards with the ball. Do you know my one downer of the day? Zaha's first touch. That's my only downer. Now, whether that was because people were picking balls to him too hard, whether he was trying too hard, whether the pressure's getting to him now, I don't know. But I was glad he was up front. Maybe could have brought Matessa on earlier. You were right about Eze. When he came on, we let the goal in straight away, didn't we, almost? Because we didn't have the Ayew tracking back. Ayew, again, really, really good. Gutted we lost, but that was a really, really positive performance. Really positive.
And here's my thing.
Anybody slagging us off for saying we're relegation fodder, that's bull crap.
Well, here's one of the things that I see about the whole, like I've seen people commenting on the fact that, you know, as they didn't track back in that situation on the cross for the goal. You got Eze playing out of position, man. You got Eze playing as a right winger.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
well, that's where he has played ever since he joined us. When Roy stuck in there.
But he's played on the opposite side, though.
Yeah. But it shows how versatile he can be. You know, we've got a damn good squad. I did a show with. I'm enjoying the sound effects from Nate here. I did a show with Vieira earlier in the week, and he likened us. I said, at the start of the season, we'll finish 4th to 7th, and Vieira said, we are a chicken cooking in the oven. We're not quite ready to come out yet. We're not yet fully cooked. Under the Vieira project, we've got maybe another, few games before we go. This is our season of transition. Next season, watch the Eagles fly. And I'm truly believing that now.
Yeah, and I mean that's very much what Patrick was talking about. The fact that you have to trust that this is a process and trust to understand that the best is yet to come from this squad, and to understand that what we've seen in this short period of time in this first year is honestly a lot more than anybody reckoned for. Like, people still have to realize that Patrick Vieira was expected to be the first manager canned
to be fired. Yep.
To be fired.
We
were expected to be fighting relegation the entirety of the season, and we haven't even seen ourselves being in serious danger of it yet. You know what I mean?
And again, the other thing I'm taking away from today is we were all right without Connor. And if you compare how we played today compared with how we played at Stamford Bridge, the first game of the season, we have come on
Louis said here.
So much.
Yeah.
So much. And if that's how we measure progress, then I'm happy.
The mad thing is, if you look at today, we can count on one hand how many defeats we've had at home this season.
Yep.
That's a good point.
Exactly.
As it currently stands at 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's unheard of for us.
Yeah.
Usually at home, it's like...
Count your Norwich's hands. Sorry.
No, Nick, you mean it. You're talking Millwall territory there, mate. There's levels to inbreeding. There's Norwich and then there's Millwall. They proved that when we played them in the derby.
Now, the thing that I haven't had a chance to read the comments because I've been driving home. I'll wait until I got home this week rather than cutting it out. It's a bit annoying that, and I can't hear you properly now. I haven't read all the comments in the chat. I've read a couple of Twitter comments. Things like Vieira got sacked after a 6-game unwinning run, at least. Why? Why did they get rid of it? This is so different to what we were used to. The measure's going to be Wednesday. It's going to be a tough game Wednesday. People are thinking, it's a walkover. Norwich has shown us, and Brentford has shown us. There are no easy games.
Nope.
I thought Norwich was
and we know what to expect from a
Roy
Hodgson-led squad. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we had almost 80% possession on Wednesday.
No, it'll be more than that.
We are going
way
to
more
see,
than that.
Yeah, we're going to see a ton of possession. We are just going to have to be able to be patient and be clinical with our opportunities because in breaking them down is going to be one thing, and finishing is going to be another. We know what we're going to get from this matchup, so we have to. I think we should know from jump that this is not going to be an easy game.
Do you think Will should start against Watford?
Why not? What did he do wrong today?
I think you're rolling your eyes almost at that.
Will sort of impacts up. I don't understand why are we asking? Why would you? I don't know what's the question.
I'm not slagging him off. I'm just saying tactically to bring on as an impact sub.
But that's not what he does. He's never done that before and done well.
I think Wilf is an impact from moment one of him being out there. So I'd rather have him be an impact starter. That's just me, though.
I mean, we're gonna get a different lineup for sure. Obviously, Gallagher will be put back in, and I'm sure he's gonna start with a recognized striker against Watford. Because why would you not?
Who comes out, Pat?
Probably Schlupp.
Probably are you? I don't see Wilf coming out.
It'd be interesting. I think for this type of game, I think you might see IU come out because we're probably going to want to have Olise in.
Have more of the ball.
Because IU's not going to have as much defensive. We're not going to have as much defensive duties from that winger spot in that next matchup. So I would imagine you probably see Olise back out there. You see Zaha. You might see IU. I think you see IU come out, and you see Schlupp come out. Honestly, yep. So, but before we let you guys go, man, what you got as far as predictions for Wednesday?
3-0 win for Palace. We drew a win, and I think the Teta should start because he's gonna want to run up to the Roy and go. Not playing it.
I would love it if he could get one, great. If he could get two, amazing. If he could get a hat trick against Roy and kick the crap out of those flags, I'm with it, man.
You know the way that Will ran up to Patrick Vieira when he scored against Norwich?
Yeah.
I'd like Mateta to do the same to Roy.
All right, Nate, you still there? You got a prediction for us, man?
Nate's on mute.
All right, well, no worries, man. Well, look, we will let you guys go, but I appreciate y'all coming in and hanging out with us, man.
Keep up the good work to you, Pat.
Hey, man.
All right, always, Nicky.
Man.
Take care, buddy. Started against why I didn't realize that.
Yep, so we're going to bring in on my man, Luke. Luke, what's up, buddy?
Got it, man. I think this has been our problem for the past few years. We can't finish our chances.
I mean, we definitely had them. I want to say we definitely had 3 or 4 solid chances, you know, and finishing those however many chances, it makes a difference in the match. I mean, you're talking about a whole different outcome if we finish 1 or 2 of those. You know what I mean?
That Wilf chance in the first half where he cut in from that bar line and dragged it wide. Mm-hmm. I don't see anything wrong with the defense today. I think the defense was quite good. I think it was capable.
It wasn't quite. It was excellent today.
Yeah,
it wasn't quite good. It was excellent. I mean, we really limited Chelsea's chances, and again, I don't know how much better we can play. It just comes down to again a moment of just switching off at the end of the game. But as far as the defense, I mean, you can't fault any of them. I thought Guaita played really well. I thought when he played brilliantly for us, I think those 2 big saves. Mitchell and Clyne were brilliant. Anderson, Gehi totally shut down Lukaku. I mean, again, I'll say it again. He had 7 touches in 90 minutes. That's unheard of. I remember Schlupp having like a few chances against touches against United, but he's a midfielder.
Yeah,
and he's not the quality of Lukaku. I mean, I didn't understand. The guy had 7 touches in a whole game today.
Yeah,
but again, it's unlucky.
Yeah. I think the thing is, man, I think it's one of those where I think
goal again.
Looking at the overall composition of the game, I'm actually really happy with how we played. You know what I mean? I mean, thinking about like you said, it was a great effort, great tactics, hard play. You know, it was just 1 or 2 things missing out, or either on our side, or trying to put shots away, or switching off for that one moment in time. You know, like honestly, you come out and play like this, like. I think we do a good job at showing up for the bigger competition.
Okay, so I just want to. Sorry, I'm watching this goal now for like the fourth time in a row in the last minute, and it's not Eze didn't track back. Eze was actually
okay. Good to hear.
It wasn't Eze didn't track back. He was actually playing more centrally, and the ball was spread out wide. He did not track back. He just wasn't in. I mean, I don't know if you can even blame him for that. I'm looking at it again, and I hope you guys get to watch it again. But I don't think it's because he didn't track back. I just thought he was playing more tucked in as a midfielder, and it was a great ball spread out to the outside. And again, the switch off to me is Mitchell. But again, he's been playing. He played great for 88 minutes. He switched off for 5 seconds. You know what I mean?
Like I said, that's the hard part about football. It only
exactly
1 second of 1 minute of 90 minutes. You know.
Do you think
again? I just don't think it's Eze's fault. But
do you think we missed a big centre forward target today? A target man?
No, I don't think against Chelsea it would have been effective, Luke. I just don't think you can play a big centre forward against those three centre halves and the wing backs. It just wouldn't work. I don't think it as an effective. But
I only say we missed one because of how much we crossed the ball into the box.
Right.
Now, if we played differently, tactically, like if we weren't putting the ball into the box so much, no, I wouldn't say that we needed to have him out there, like have a taller center forward out there. But we did. I feel like we crossed the ball into the box a considerable amount. However, they weren't high crosses. We had a lot of low driven crosses into the box. Not as many high ones, but I thought we were fine without the big striker. I mean, I think that we did a good job playing a better job playing through the middle though too.
Such a good finish.
What are you seeing? It's a good finish.
No, watching again, I'm such a good finish though. Seriously, I'm not even joking. The ball from Alonso, that finish is ridiculously good.
Yeah,
I want to be mad. The more I watch it, the less upset I get. Seriously, that's a brilliant finish by Ziyech. I'm sorry, man.
And I'm
upset, but that is such a good finish.
It was on the volley, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
and his left foot. I mean, it's a great ball by Alonso. Watch it. Oh my gosh, what a goal! Seriously, I want to be so upset, but bloody hell, that's a good finish. Seriously,
that's literally why they brought him into the match. They literally brought in
Alonso, exactly right. When they made the triple sub, exactly to make that one.
And there was only 10 minutes to go, and they probably tactically brought him on just because our team was tiring and it was running out of it.
If somebody was going to make that type of cross into the box,
would have been Alonso.
It's going to be him.
Because Saul wasn't going to do that. Saul wasn't doing it all game. So
that's not his.
That doesn't have that ability, right?
So Luke,
can I ask you one question?
Go ahead.
Unlucky.
Do you think we're looking over our shoulders instead of looking up?
I still don't think we're looking over our shoulders because
fan base is, but
I think the fan base is looking over our shoulders more than the club and the players and the manager. I think the manager and the team are trying to just get the points to move up the table. We're focusing on getting 3 points to move up the table. We're not worried about, and I think that's the way you're supposed to be. I think we should look at it because if they start looking back and worrying about who's behind them, we're going to see significant changes in play. We're not going to be as aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's kind of, I hate to mention, it's more of that Roy Ball mentality. It's like, hey, you know, we got to make sure that we do just enough to stay above them rather than us trying to push up. I mean, we didn't after this match, we lost, right? As of right now, our position in the table hasn't changed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Except for tomorrow if Leeds win or whatever, but that's going to be less likely because they're playing.
So it's like one of those things. It's like, man, just.
But Luke, if Leeds win, they can't go above us. They have a negative 19 goals. If we have a negative 4, so if they win, they'd only be tied on points. So they can't go above us. So so our position's not going to change for the rest of the weekend. So take that for what it's worth. But we're not going to go any lower than 13th.
So man, Amin, what's up, Amin? How you doing, brother?
I just think we need to win our both games this week.
There definitely should win games. I'm gonna say should win.
There you go. Ahmed, voice of reason. Talk to us, please.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Good, thanks.
All good, man. All good. Disappointed with the game. To be honest, we played really well, but one mistake, and this is what happens against the top 6. To be honest.
Yeah, they tend to have that way of finding something at the end. I mean, you know, whether it be the way that this one ended or the bull crap we saw in the Liverpool match, those type of things that, you know, just tend to favor the rich, should I say. But
You could say that, but somewhere around T, while I was watching the entire game, and I was after the game, I was thinking, and I was like, I was really worried, to be honest, in terms of the midfield. What we have at this current moment, like Kuyate, MacArthur were pretty good, but Schlupp being there, and we are really. I feel that after watching that game and looking back at the entire season, just how important has Conor Gallagher been? Means we are currently dependent on him on a loanee from, especially from Chelsea. He's coming, and when you see him against the game, he's not playing it against Chelsea, and the fact that all the creativity, all the good balls for the wide areas, like for Olise or Zaha, all of these were being made by him. And when we don't have him for one game, we look like our midfield looks like, especially as if we are playing three DMs.
I mean, I respectfully disagree there. I mean, I thought the midfield looked good because first of all, you mentioned Schlupp. Schlupp didn't play in the midfield. Schlupp was on the wing, and you had Olise in the 10 role. Kuyate and MacArthur were all over. I mean, I think honestly, this is the best performance sans Gallagher that we've seen from our midfield all season long, hands down.
I agree. I agree with you on that, T.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Gallagher wasn't playing today. Now, obviously, change of system is a big part of that, but I didn't really notice him, Ahmed, today not being there because of the fact that we went to the double pivot in front of our back four and having Schlupp out more wide. Yeah, it was midfield. We played for 5 in the middle, but it was more wide where he's definitely better than in the middle. I thought we did well today, and when we created chances, I mean, at least they set up Zaha, I think, twice. And Zaha, I think
of all the people that we didn't miss in this one, I don't think we missed Conor Gallagher in this one.
Right. Maybe he scores that chance and Zaha misses. Maybe he doesn't. I mean,
maybe.
That's
but at the same time, is he, even if he's playing in the game, is he going to be in that position to score
that position? Exactly, as a forward. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, who knows? I mean, because I'll tell you what.
Agreed.
The opportunity that Olise had, Connor
was more of a Gallagher. Yeah.
I mean, but I don't think he would have shot that because he wouldn't have put that on his left foot and shot that.
I agree, but the fact that with regards to let's have a look at the back four of Chelsea. You have Sarr, you have Christensen, Silva, and Rudiger.
It's not a back four; it's a back three. Remember, with 2 wing backs.
Yeah, they got 2 wing backs.
Sarr was playing on one side, and then they had
it was Christensen, Rudiger, and
Thiago
Silva.
Right.
Even
they don't play a back four. Go ahead. Sorry.
Even in terms of, let's say, back 3, back 5, back 4, whatever it is. But the point I'm trying to say is the fact that I wanted our midfield to stretch them a little bit, because that back 4, if you look, or back 5, you look at that, you could have done a little bit more, I feel, because the likes of Olise and Zaha were doing pretty well. They did a fine job in trying to occupy them. But I wanted some runners from the midfield. What I saw was the fact that MacArthur and Kuyate were obviously doing the defensive side, and even Schlupp. But if you're trying to stretch them, just try to run beyond them. You could have tried to pull away Silva and made some space for Zaha or Olise to have a pop at the goal itself.
So with the way we were playing our team, though, had we put a runner like that, would you have wanted that runner to be Olise? Or would you want it to be Kuyate or Mac?
I'm not talking about Kuyate or Mac, because obviously they both are doing that defensive side. But I would have preferred Schlupp or Zaha, somebody to make a run across, make them pull back. Because while Olise and Ayew were doing that, but the fact that Rudiger, you're doing it against Rudiger, you are making him you're completely occupying him, and he is someone who's not going to budge around. Silva, I feel that you could have done that. You could have just made him move a little bit on the right or on the left somewhere, and then somebody from the midfield can sprint into that space. Because what I saw in the entire game, we tried, but in the end, we came at the same space what we have been the entire season.
There was a play at the end of that match when we were trying to get that late goal, and you guys can go back and watch this when we get the match replay and stuff, where Eze went in behind and he kind of went across the face of the goal, and we missed him. We didn't even look at him. And I think that's kind of similar to what you were talking about. Eze made a beautiful diagonal run, and we did not pick him. I think I don't know if it was it Wilf that had the ball. I don't know if it was Will.
This is what I'm trying to say. Somebody needs to stretch their back line. With Chelsea, it's not like all the players are, yes, there are some elite world-class center backs and everything. But with the fact that they have been on a trip, they came back, all of this, and you need to make them run. You need to stretch them. And what we did was in that confined space. We did not try to stretch them out loud. Basically, we ensured we were playing it in the second half. We started very well, but if we don't have that end product coming in, we are going to be at the same place, to be honest.
And the thing about it, I think we're going to have to play like that on Wednesday because they're going to be compact. They're going to be, probably going to be in that low block of 4, the 2 blocks of 4. So we're going to have those type of runs in order to get opportunities, I think.
To be honest, yes, I agree with that fact, but I feel that somewhere around these things, like the end product in the final third needs to improve by a lot, because what we are seeing at this moment is the fact that we are creating all the good things, but the end product is not coming in, and somewhere around we are stuttering big time here.
Absolutely. But I've been holding on to this question. I'm going to get the answer from all 3 of you. So Olise was outstanding today. Where do you think he's best utilized? In that 10 position as a cam or on the right wing? I'll start with you, Patrick.
I think it depends on, how you want to play. In a 4-2-3-1, obviously as a cam, because either him or Eze would be the best one to play as a cam. But honestly, when we play that 4-3-3, I like him as an inverted wing on the right side because he can cut inside. He proved against Millwall and Hartlepool how effective he can be. So I think it just depends on the formation. Honestly, I don't think you should pigeonhole him. I think last year at Reading, he shows that he can play through the middle. He can play out wide. So I think it really depends on the formation and what Vieira wants to do. Okay.
So Luke, what do you think?
He's better as a wide player, either on wide left or wide right. I agree with Patrick. I think it depends on the formation that we play. He can play centrally, but I think at the moment, he's better as a wide player.
Okay. Ahmed, what about you, man?
I agree with both Luke and Patrick, to be honest. I prefer him outright on the white side because he likes to cut inside. He can do that, but he can go outside as well, which will create a enigma basically for the defender fullback itself.
Okay. So Stan, the question, I don't know if you heard it, was do we feel like Olise is more effective or better for us in that right wing position or in that cam, that 10 position?
He's better on the wing, obviously. He caused them some problems today, like his deliveries, his runs, his dribbles. Like, did you see him like the little twinkle toes in the first half when he just dragged that chance wide? Like, he caused them some problems today. But, mate, honestly, he's pinging lovely balls into the box. There's no one in there to get on the end of them because Patrick Vieira's got 3 strikers that he had on the bench today. So
now, do we think that's a tactical thing, though? Like, why are we then trying to ping balls like that when we don't have those? You know what I mean? Like, is that a
I mean, it's the basics of football. When you've got him who is proving to be better every single week he plays, you need to be with his delivery. You need to be putting balls in the box. You need to be having people to get on the end of them. But we didn't. I don't know, mate.
Okay, gotcha. Well, before we move on, real quick, want to make sure we get this sponsor message here from Manscaped. Pete, got me?
Yeah, I got you. So This broadcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Join the over 4 million men this February who are using Manscaped. We have an exclusive offer through Back of the Nest. It's use the code BOTN for 20% off with free shipping. Yes, I know Valentine's Day is over, but it's never not a good time to take care of you know what. Inside the Performance Package 4.0, you'll find the signature lawnmower 4.0, which is this beauty. T, you get yours yet? Get yours yet?
I got my package, so I got my my body wash and my ball conditioner and shampoo. I did not get a lawnmower though, but shout out to them anyway. I appreciate anything you guys provide me with.
And send this man a lawnmower.
Confucius says, education breeds confidence. So it's time to get educated on the ultimate grooming routine for all of your areas of romance this year. So again, don't forget, fans, to check out the Performance Package 4.0. Use the code BOTN for 20% off and free shipping worldwide. Your balls will thank you. Thank you to Manscaped.
Our balls will thank you, and thank you to Manscaped for everything they're doing. So, fellas, before like Austin said, yes, I need the lawnmower.
A lot of us do, mate. A lot of us do.
For sure. But looking forward to Wednesday with Watford, the reunion with Roy. Fellas,
that'll be fun.
Yeah, just going around the table here. Who are we all starting here? I'll start with you, Stan.
Mate, he needs to stop being naive. Okay, this is so frustrating. We were excellent today. Excellent, I thought. To a man, we were superb. To lose that in the last minute was tough. But we're playing Watford, different proposition. Okay, midfield: Gallagher, Kouyaté, Maka. Okay, play a striker through the middle. Wilf and Olise on the wings, back for the same, and go up there and get the job done. You know how Roy Hodgson is getting them organised. You know that they're going to be up for it. You know they're brutal. They don't play good football. He's going to play two central midfielders on each wing. You know how it is. But we've got to be ready to take the game to them and put them to bed.
Gotcha. Ahmed, how you lining up, man?
I just wanted to ask you guys, is Will all right?
Right, we just dropped him. No, he was injured. He was injured from the last match, but he should be back, I think, for Wednesday.
And who was that? I didn't hear.
Will Hughes. Will Hughes didn't play today.
Yeah, they were talking about bringing him in because he made the bench, didn't he?
He was on the bench, yeah.
Yeah, they were commenting that he was warming up on the sideline before Guaita ended up getting hurt.
Exactly. So I think the Guaita injury
I think he would have come on. Yeah, I think he
right.
would have come on had Guaita not gotten hurt.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. So if
Will is ready to start, I would start him alongside Kouyaté and Gallagher.
Okay.
That's because I feel that we'll be having a lot of the ball, and Will is someone who can control that midfield and try to make some space, as well as create some good balls with regards to the wings as well. And obviously up top, I'll go with Zaha, Olise, and Benteke.
Okay. And then who's your back four?
Back four, it's going to be just if Ward is ready, he comes back. Obviously, the team, but it's going to be like Guehi, Anderson, Mitchell, and Clyne.
Okay, all right. So who you got, Luke?
I'm going to go for the same back four. Hopefully, Fiji is fit to start, but if not, I'll put Butland in. Midfield's going to be tough. As much as I want it to happen, I think all of us have wanted this to happen all season. I want to see a midfield three of Eze, Gallagher, and Maka.
But you've got very little defensive cover there. Like Kouyaté today, mate. Christ, have we missed him? What a shield he is.
Now,
my God.
But I guess playing devil's advocate to what Luke is saying in this situation, Stan, in a game where we expect to have 3/4 to 80% of the possession, do you want to have a more offensive midfield?
Agreed, but we cannot be basically risking it because they have Dennis and Ismail Sarr, and they are going to be running at that back four. I feel that the one which Luke said is going to leave us a lot exposed.
I'm going to go for that back. I'm going to go for that front three, that midfield three, and then the front three for me has got to be Wilf, Edouard, and Olise.
Okay. Pat, who you got?
Play Ayew though. He will play Ayew because, and Ayew was good today. Well, given that he was good today, he battled today against a good team, but he'll play Ayew because of, you just said, Ismail Sarr will cause Ward or whoever it is down there problems. So he will need the defensive cover. So he will play Ayew.
Okay. So Pat, who you putting out there?
Probably gonna go back to the 4-3-3 because looking at their lineup today, they play a 4-3-3. So I'd have Guaita if he's fit, if not Butland, Mitchell, Anderson, Gahey, and I'd play Clyne again for sure because thought he played pretty well today. Midfield 3 for me would be Kouyaté, Hughes, and Gallagher. I like to see
No Maka.
Nope. He played today. I wouldn't want to play him back to back such a short term coming off that injury.
That's a good point.
And we have him for. I'd like to keep him for Burnley. Again, I don't. Again, I think he rested Hughes today. I think Hughes. I've never seen Hughes, Kouyaté and Gallagher in the same three. I like to see that actually. And I'm looking at their midfield three is Cleverly, Sissoko, and Luisa. So I think we could dominate them. And up front, I would have Wilf left, Benteke up front, and have Olise on the right.
All right.
Benteke, I don't know if you guys saw the stat. Benteke in the last 6 matches that he started, he scored 4 goals.
4 goals. Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't played. People want to criticize him, and I get how Mateta played with an Edouard, but I'd love to see him back in there, especially based on how he put in so many crosses today. I think he'd benefit from that. Mateta played against him that first game. The cup game didn't play very well against them. It was a long time ago, but didn't play well against them in that first match against them. So did IU. So I showed him, give him something different to look at today. On Wednesday and see what happens. But that's what I would try. I'd like to see Benteke. But if he starts Edouard or Mateta, I'd have no problem with that. My preference would be Benteke though.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think well, if Guaita, I think it just depends on if he's healthy. Guaita, if not Butland, I keep the back four the same as it was today. I really like what I saw out of Clyne today, honestly. Midfield 3, I would go with Kouyaté, Hughes, and Gallagher. And because I really do agree with Pat. You know, he went the full 90 today, which is great for us to have for him, have out of him. But with the midweek game, I think it'll be fair of us to give him that full rest, kind of similar to how we were able to do that with Hughes today. And maybe he comes on in a substitution role and plays, 20, 30 minutes, however, when he comes in. My front three, I think I'll go with Olise on the right, Zaha on the left. I think I'll go with Edouard through the middle, only because I feel like in this match, we're probably going to be playing a lot on the floor against what they're going to be doing, trying to pack it in. And I think it's going to be important for us to have guys that have really, really good link-up play and playing the ball at their feet. And I think Edouard does really well with that. So that would be mine. So real quick, before we let you go, Luke and Ahmed, give me your score predictions.
Oh, I'm going to go for 2-1 Palace.
2-1 Palace. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice result. Ahmed, what about you?
I'm going to go for 1-0.
1-0? Okay. 1-0 Palace. All right. Well, cool, man. Well, I appreciate you, both of you guys, man. Look forward to seeing you possibly on Wednesday or on Tuesday for the Palace Focus Show, man.
Up the Palace.
All right, fellas, up the Palace.
Thank you, guys.
See you soon.
Nice.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Wednesday. Oh.
All right, fellas. So before we get out of here, I'm gonna get your score predictions for this one as well. Stan, you like you chewing on it.
I'm not predicting because I'm so pissed off. I'm not predicting because you just don't know what we're turning up with. Like this game is massive. Like this game is defining our season. So,
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. If he doesn't get something here,
is that because of who it's against, or Is that because of who it's against, or just the fact that we need the 3?
Richard, mate, I like Patrick Vieira, and I want him to do well, but it's naive all the time since the beginning of the season. They haven't learned. It's constant mistakes. He's gone away to Norwich, not got enough. He's gone away to Brentford, he's not got enough. What's he going to do this time, mate? I don't know, man. I don't want to say because, I can't see it, man.
So, Stan, seriously, what was naive about today? By the map, what was naive about Vieira today? What was so naive about what he did today? He started a brand new formation he hasn't done, and we were 0-0 89th minutes. What was naive about that by him?
I think that his substitutions were naive. He should have made changes earlier. I think the substitution he made, I don't even know why he bothered making that substitution, to be honest with you. And I think it's, it is again, last minute mistakes, this, that, the other. Like we've done it so many times. We lost so many points from decent position, from a decent position. We should be 10 to 15 points better off. Look, I like him. I want him to do well. I'm not saying sack him, but he's going to be under pressure. And, unfortunately, teams below us picked up points today. And I think he needs to get his act together, man. Like, it's all well and good, like 3 or 4 games, you make a mistake. But, like, when are we going to learn? You can't put it on Mitchell all the time. He's been amazing this year. But, like, when are we going to learn, guys?
But again, how is that mistake by Mitchell or wherever, Butland? How is that on the manager? What could he have done differently? What could he have done? What do you mean? What do you mean subs? I mean, he brought on Eze for Ayu, right? I just realized. I think he brought in Mateta after the goal, right? You said he brought before.
After the goal.
It was after the goal.
Right after the goal. So what could he have done differently? How is he going to prevent that goal?
I would have kept Ayu on for starters. I thought he had a great game. And I would have made subs earlier. I think that Chelsea team, they weren't great today. They're a good side, but they weren't great. I thought we deserved minimum a point. And to be honest, they were there for the taking if we'd have took our chances. Eddie buries both of those Zaha chances, 100%. Does he create them? That's a different story. True. But if those chances come in front of him, he buries them 100%, mate. So
with all due respect, I've seen Edouard miss those chances this season. I just have. I'll go back if you want me. I'll point them out. He has missed those same chances this season. So that's not even fair. It's not fair to say that. It's not fair to say that. I've seen Edouard miss those chances. He did it against Liverpool. Had a great chance. Liverpool put it wide, similar to what Zaha did. So it's not fair to say he would have buried him. If he'd buried him, I totally disagree with that. I just don't agree with that. But again, I'm just looking for reasons why we're getting on the manager. I get on the players. We can get on Zaha for missing no chances, no doubt. We can get on Butler for making a save or get on Mitchell. But I don't see what the manager could have done differently. He kept us in the game 0-0 into the 89th minute. I don't know what he can do about that.
The manager didn't lose us the match.
I don't think he did today. I don't think he does. No, I don't say the buck doesn't stop at him. I get that, but I can definitely say in other matches, perhaps he made a mistake with a sub. I think the Tompkins when he made that time. He made a Tompkins save. We didn't make a Tompkins. I think it was Arsenal, right? He put on Tompkins late. He was kind of desperate, and I put on Tompkins, and that didn't really work out. But I don't think today he made a mistake bringing on SA for Ayu. I just don't see it. I really don't. And he had to bring Guaita off because I think you said mentioned that before to you about he would have brought on Hughes earlier for sure because of the issue. But when you do that, you bring on a second sub that early, you leave yourself with one sub later on. I don't think he wanted to leave himself that option. You know what I mean? So I think that's why that really messed him up. You don't ever sub a goalkeeper. You know what I mean? So that's a big difference. But I'm really struggling to see, and I'll agree with you. But I can't see how this is Vieira's fault today. I can't see it. I really don't see how he made a mistake. Not even with the lineup. I thought lineup was a good lineup. I thought lineup did a great job. So
let me ask this, Stan. Had it ended 0-0,
great question.
Would you have the same?
No, I wouldn't, because that's an excellent point against the good side. Obviously, I'll be happy with that.
So the difference between the 1-0 and the 0-0, how does that fall on Vieira though?
Because it's constant. This team is so good, but they don't learn from these last minute errors. How many times are we going to get punished? How many times are we going to fall asleep? Do you know what I mean? We're sleepwalking into a potential relegation battle. We should be nowhere near it, and we're sleepwalking into it. I'm sorry, but the buck stops with the manager. The other thing, that lineup, Schlupp. He's naive. He constantly plays Schlupp. He's useless, mate. Schlupp is useless in the middle. Okay?
But he didn't play
well. I thought he played well today. I thought he played well today.
I really do. But he didn't play in the middle though. He played
out wide in the 3. So I thought he played well today. But I must have missed that. I thought I don't like him as a midfielder, but he played wide this game.
The other thing is, like I said, you got 3 strikers on the bench. Okay, play them. They cost a lot of money. Those players. How much was it? You're probably looking at a total of 60-70 million pound. Those strikers cost. With the talent you've got out wide, you need a striker there. Like, why has he not played a striker today? Like, come on. I know it's Chelsea and we shouldn't be beating them. I'm not expecting that. But, Like, it's just common sense. And wait until the 80th minute to make his second sub. It's stupid. It's dumb. I'm sorry. It is.
I did want us to sub a little earlier, possibly, but I think, like I said, I think a lot of that got thrown off by having to make that sub at half too.
Right.
So, so Stan has abstained from giving a prediction for the next game. So, what about you, Pat?
2-0 Palace.
2-0. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 1-0 Palace. I'm gonna go 1-0 Palace. I'm gonna be more conservative with my outlook, just because
Makes sense against a Roy team. That makes sense.
That's kind of my thoughts. I think it'll be a 1-0, and I think we're gonna have a lot of chances that we're not gonna convert again. So I think that's probably why. I think it should be more. It probably ended up looking like it should have been more than 1-0, but I think that's where it would be. So any parting words before we get off here, fellas?
Roll on Wednesday. Let's go. Can't wait.
On Wednesday. What about you, Stan?
Can't wait.
What can I say, mate? Let's just hope that, I don't know, mate. I'm disappointed about today. But you know what? On a positive note, look how far we've come since we played them first game of the season, because they destroyed us first game of the season. So
very good point.
Yeah.
I mean, like night and day difference between a game with the before where it was over in the first 20 minutes of the match.
And let me just say, look how far the man just come, because he was naive in that first game. It was his first game in the Premier League, but how much better was he today? I think he was miles better today. And again, it's a process, man. He's learned like everybody else is. He's learning. So, like I said,
I know, but are you willing to let this go down to the relegation battle, down to the wire, just so he can learn?
I mean, I'll wait till that happens. I'm not worried about it right now. I'm not worried about it today. I don't know. What's today? February, the 19th, 25th? I lose track of time sometimes. Whatever the date is today, I'm not worried about relegation at all. I'm not worried about it one bit. I'm not worried about it. I'm more worried about trying to beat Stoke in a couple of weeks. I really am. I'm so focused on the FA Cup. I'm not worried about the league. And you know what? If we get dragged in, which I went through the whole stats already, we got a very good goal difference. We're not going to fall any further than 13th, unless Leeds win tomorrow 20-0. They can't overtake us, so we're going to be in 13th place. There are lots of teams below us that are much worse off. But yeah, Burnley won today. Yeah, Watford won today. I'm still don't think they're going to stay up. Newcastle, much better. Got the point today. Brentford are in big trouble. Villa. How's Everton doing under Lampard? Seriously, I think they lost.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just not worried about it. I'm just not worried about it right now. I'm just not.
With Brentford are in big trouble. So who do they play today? They played Arsenal, but they haven't won in 9 or 10 games. They haven't won. Right. They've got 1 point out of 9 in the last 9 games.
And that was against us.
Yeah. There you go. Do you know what I mean? Like, we should have put them to bed if we weren't so.
Keeping things in perspective. Keeping things in perspective, yes, we gave up the 1 point. They're still way worse off than we are, though.
Exactly. Yes, I have to look at it. Right. They're still right there.
Like we're talking the whole relegation battle team. There are more than 3 teams that are in way worse shape than we are presently.
Yes, but we don't take our chances, mate. So, and like I said, again,
can't dispute that. Based on the Norwich game today and against Brentford, you're right about that. But again, he's working on things. And again, he's not an experienced manager. He's getting better. He just said he came a long way from the first Chelsea match. He tried something totally different. We haven't seen a 4-2-3-1 all season, have we?
No.
Have we seen that formation all season? And we were a minute away from a point against, again, you guys want to downplay it, the European champions and the world club champions. All right. So, and that was a ridiculously good goal.
But that was
a great finish by Ziyech today. So again,
it was another one where he don't know his best team yet, and it's the end of Feb, mate. Feb ends in 9 days, and he don't know his best team. You got to give one of these strikers.
Yeah, what's your best team? What's your best team?
Clyne, Anderson, Gay, Mitchell, VG in goal. I'll go 4-4-2 just for the hell of it. I play Wilf, Olise, Gallagher, Maka, Kouyaté, and then one of the forwards, whichever forward he's got, play him up front on his own. Give him a game. Give him 5 or 6 games to get into it, get into a rhythm. Do you know what I mean?
He just did that with Mateta. Mateta just played 4 or 5 games in a row. He just did that.
Did
he? Just did that. Yes, he did. Go look at it. He played 4 or 5 games in a row before today. He just did. Before that, it was Benteke. Sorry. Before it was Edouard. Before that, it was Benteke.
He didn't
so he's
start
trying to figure out.
He didn't start him against Brentford. Mateta didn't start against Brentford. He started Eddie.
Okay, watch this. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go back. All right, so maybe prior to that game, but I'm telling you, Mateta had played maybe 4 games in a row prior to that. Let me just look it up.
It was during the AFCON stretches when Mateta was getting a lot of
matches.
his
so
work.
Let me just go to the squad. So Mateta had played. Let's see, Mateta, Jean-Philippe Mateta matches. So came on against Brentford, you're correct, but played against Norwich 80, Hartlepool 80, Liverpool 77. That's 3 in a row. And then had played before then. He played the FA Cup Millwall game. He started that game. Started against Norwich before that. So I guess 5 of the 6 games he had started. And you're right, Edouard had played prior to that. But my point is, he had played him in a stretch of games. It's not like he hadn't. It doesn't like he chopped and changed and went 1 game Eddie, 1 game Mateta, 1 game Benteke. Benteke's been out for a while, so he's been trying it. But again, like I said, you can't play the same formation as every team. Again, today, if you played the 4-3 today, we would have gotten smoked by Chelsea because we didn't have the players to play the 4-3. Remember, we didn't have Gallagher to play today. So for me, the 4-2-3-1 worked great. Yeah, maybe he should have played a striker, but again, I thought that Zaha did a good job. Again, if he makes one of those 2 goals, we're up 1-0. He just missed those 2 chances. Edouard could have missed them. Benteke could have missed them, and so could have Mateta. Because every striker, every forward misses chances. So I don't know if he says he don't have his best. He doesn't know his best starting team. That might be true, but it's 25 games into a season with a half a new starting side. I mean, half the players we have now starting didn't play for us last year, so I expect it to take some time. So
we'll see, guys. Listen, I've got to go because I've got something I need to be. But up the
Palace.
but
we're getting ready to sign off and everything. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. But hey, as we said, always and forever, up the Palace, guys.
Up the Palace.
All right.